welcome to Checkers Library TV. Today I am outside taking a walk in the woods. It's so nice out. It actually just snowed here right around Christmas, and then it just kept coming, and we have like 2 feet of snow, and it's just all over the place. It's one of my favorite things about the winter season, getting to look at the trees and seeing all the snow, and when it turns to ice, it just looks really cool. So I love looking out at this, but Snoozer wanted to stay inside because he doesn't like the cold very much, but I do have him on here, so I'm gonna pull him up real quick. I'll flip this screen so you can say hello to Snoozer.
Hello, everyone. I'm Snoozer.
All right, well, it's good to see Snoozer here. We are celebrating a new year. Right when December turns to January, every year, we start a new year. And this year is 2021. Yes, we just left 2020 behind, and we've now started a new year, which is a perfect time to do something new. If you've never done something before, you want to do it this year, like write your own story or read a book you've never read before. You could be making a movie, anything like that. It's always a great time at the beginning of the year to come up with those plans and then finish them throughout the year. So make sure you do something like that this year. All right, other things coming up, we have Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And a lot of people have off from school for that day because it's a really important day where we celebrate Martin Luther King Jr., an American icon and hero. He fought for the civil rights of people, and he did a really amazing job by being nonviolent. There's a lot of people that want to change things. They want to change how people act. They want to make sure that everyone's being treated fairly in the same way. And instead of starting fights and being violent, Martin Luther King Jr. did his protesting by gathering in large groups and doing walks, doing speeches, and really influencing. That means he changed a lot of people's mind and made a lot of people understand what he was talking about and got his message across by being peaceful, nonviolent. So Martin Luther King Jr. accomplished a lot of things for the African American people and all people across the world, creating equality. And we are always celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. When you guys have off from school, it's a good time to maybe read a book about Martin Luther King Jr. You're never too young to learn about someone like that who's really important to our history. So if you get a chance, ask your library if they have any books for kids, for older kids, about Martin Luther King Jr. This could be a book you read all by yourself, or a book that you have your parents read to you. Hey, let me pull up Zot and see if he can talk about some Martin Luther King Jr. books. Zot, what do you have for us?
Zot the Robot. Today's selections are Who Was Martin Luther King Jr.? I Am Brave, a little book about Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr., my first biography. My Little Golden Book about Martin Luther King Jr. 4 books for children about Martin Luther King Jr. Goodbye.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much, Zot. Now, another great day coming up towards the end of the month of January I want to talk about is on January 29th, and that is National Puzzle Day. Have you ever tried to solve a puzzle before? Hey, Snoozer, have you ever tried to solve a puzzle before?
Yes, I have. It was so tricky, but I finally figured it out, and I was so happy.
Oh yes, puzzles can be really confusing. They're hard to put together. Sometimes puzzles can be easy. There's only a few pieces, but some puzzles have like 1,000 pieces, and it can take so much time to put them together and figure it out, but it is so satisfying. You feel so good about yourself when you can finish a puzzle. Even if you do it with a group of people, that sometimes is even more fun when you get your family and friends involved, and you're all putting pieces together and solving them and getting to see what the great picture looks like at the end. Have you ever solved a puzzle before? That's some of my favorite things to do. Solving puzzles, working with people. It always feels good when you try to put things together and you get to see it come together at the end. That's great. So Puzzle Day is really cool. That's in the month of January. So you can celebrate that all month long by checking out puzzles. You can buy puzzles. You can check out books about puzzles in the library. You can do puzzles you have around the house at home. See if you can find a puzzle around the house. Ask your parents if they have puzzles out for you to do. Maybe there's a book about a puzzle. Anything like that. Celebrate that this month, the month of January, National Puzzle Day. Alrighty, well, lots of cool days we're talking about, fun things like that, interesting things, but today's going to be really special because we have a great show for you. We have Mrs. Hamilton reading books about penguins. Dr. Dan's going to do another really cool health mystery. I think you're going to enjoy this one. I'm going to be back talking about some of the best books about winter, about snow, about polar bears and penguins, things in the Arctic, everything we like thinking about in the month of January. While we're surrounded by snow, some of us don't have snow in our area, some of us do, but I certainly do, and I love talking about it. So even if you don't have snow, you can read books about it. All right, lots of great stuff. Snoozer's got a joke of the week. I've got more toys in time. Lots of really special things coming your way right here on Checkers Library TV.
Did you know? Most penguins live in the southern hemisphere. No penguins live in the North Pole. Emperor penguins can stay underwater for 20 minutes. Penguins can drink seawater. The library has tons of books about penguins. Visit the library to learn more.
Boys and girls, the story I'm going to be reading to you today is called Grumpy Pants. The author and illustrator is Claire Messer. Penguin was in a bad mood, a very bad mood. He didn't know why and he didn't care. He stomped his feet all the way home. Do you ever stomp your feet when you're angry? I might have when I was little. Probably shouldn't do that at school. Shouldn't stomp his feet. He pulled off his grumpy coat and kicked off his grumpy boots, but he was still grumpy. He tried to shake it off, but he was still grumpy. I should try that sometime when I'm grumpy, see if I can shake it off. That's why singing sometimes can make you feel happy. Shake your grumpies off. So he pulled off one grumpy sock and then the other, but he was still grumpy. So he took off his grumpy overalls. These are called overalls. They kind of go over your shoulders. Nope, still grumpy. Finally, he took off his grumpy underpants. That's silly. Do you think that's gonna work? I'm still grumpy, you know. Then Penguin took a deep breath. And he counted. Because taking a deep breath can really make you feel better. 1, 2, 3. Splash! He went into the tub. The water was nice and cold. Penguin played with his duck. He hid under the water and made himself a bubble beard. So he put the bubbles around his face. Little by little, he was starting to feel much better. It was time to get out of the tub. He put on his favorite pajamas and he had a steaming cup of hot chocolate. He read his favorite book. He found his favorite teddy and climbed into bed. As Penguin fell asleep, he knew that tomorrow would be a good day because all his grumpies had been washed away. Well, I like that story. And sometimes when you're feeling grumpy, did you notice he took a bath? Sometimes if you're feeling really grumpy, you can just go in your room and find something to do quietly, and you might start feeling better all by yourself. And then take off your clothes, I guess, and then when they get all washed, the grumpies will be all gone.
If you would like to email Checkers and Snoozers, send your emails to checkers@checkerslibrarytv.com. We always look forward to hearing from you.
Hi there, and welcome to Toys in Time. Today's awesome. We're talking about this game right here, Polar Dare, 1991 by Milton Bradley. They're a board game company, and they make a lot of adventure games. They've always made games that are really creative and fun, and this one is about 12 penguins who venture from the South Pole to the North Pole, and they're almost there while on vacation. They're almost at the North Pole, but standing in their way is this, what they describe as the hungriest polar bear they've ever seen. Now, this bear wants to gobble these penguins up. They've got to cross all of these ice floes and make their way safely to the other side. There are 4 teams. If you want to play up to 4 players, it's 2 to 4. 4 teams of 3 penguins. The first player to get all 3 across safely to the North Pole is the winner. But will you be sent back home by the polar bear? You'll have to find out. Snoozer, what do you like about this game?
I really like all the artwork. The box is so colorful.
Well, I really love the artwork both on the cover right here, really colorful and imaginative, but I also love the artwork in the game. So I agree with you, Snoozer. It almost makes me want to take a closer look. So, Snoozer, let's take a trip to the North Pole. Oh, great. Another cold place.
Yahoo! It's so pretty and beautiful. And wait, what was that? Polar bear! Ah!
Oh, he's not so bad. All right, so we need to help these penguins cross the river on these ice floes. I'll be blue.
And I'll be red. Wait, Checkers!
Yeah?
If you're blue and I'm red, who is going to be the green and the black? Huh?
Hello, friends.
Oh no! It's my arch nemesis, David DeVita, aka the Trickster.
Oh no! It's my arch nemesis, Deceiver! Dun dun dun!
How did you get here?
Simple. I snuck into your invention shed while you were away and stole your technology with the help of my own tricks.
I usually have my inventions locked away. You must have snuck in while I was repairing the checkers pad.
And now that we're all here, how about a game? I'll take black. Deceiver here will take green. If our penguins cross the river first, you will give me your expander. You know how much I want one.
Okay, what if we win?
Then I will give back your transporting technology.
You're on.
Dear Rooney!
On your mark.
Get set!
Go!
Find out what happens to Checkers, Snoozer, and the penguins on the concluding chapter of Toys in Time, Polar Dare. Coming next week.
If all the raindrops were lemon drops and gumdrops, oh, what a rain that would be. I'd sit outside with my mouth open wide. If all the raindrops were lemon drops and gumdrops, oh, what a rain that would be. If all the snowflakes were candy bars and milkshakes, oh, what a snow that would be. I'd sit outside with my mouth open wide. If all the snowflakes were candy bars and milkshakes, oh, what a snow that would be. If all the sunbeams were jelly beans and ice cream, oh, what a sun that would be. I'd sit outside with my mouth open and wide. If all the sunbeams were jelly beans and ice cream, oh, what a sun that would be.
Hey everyone, it's Dr. Dan. I hope everyone had a great end to 2020 and is off to a great start in 2021. Now, as we know, a lot of having a great year is having a healthy year. So that's why I want to spend a little time talking about washing our hands. Now, why is it so important to wash our hands? Well, because our hands get lots and lots of dirt and germs on them throughout the day. Think about it. When we are going around throughout the day, we're touching doorknobs and handles and tables and things in the bathroom and countertops and all kinds of places that definitely could have germs that we do not want in our body. So we have to be washing our hands all the time throughout the day. Before we eat, after we eat, before we're going somewhere that could have a lot of germs, after we come out of somewhere that could have a lot of germs, we want to make sure we're washing our hands plenty throughout the day. Now, how do we wash our hands? Well, it's pretty easy. There's only a few quick steps we need to follow. First, turn on the faucet and get some nice warm water. Next, get some soap in our hands and rub them together, get a nice lather going, and then rinse our hands in the soap with the water for 20 seconds. How do we know it's been 20 seconds? Well, that's really easy. We sing the song Happy Birthday 2 times. So happy birthday once and happy birthday a second time, and that's about 20 seconds. When we're done rinsing our hands off, we want to rinse them a little bit with no soap just to get all the extra soap off, and then dry them completely with either a towel or some paper towels or a hand dryer. Alright everyone, so that's easy. It's one quick, simple step to follow to make sure we're staying healthy. Before we go anywhere that might have a lot of germs, and after we're out somewhere that might have a lot of germs, make sure we're washing our hands for 20 seconds throughout the day. Alright everyone, that's it for me. I'm Dr. Dan. Let's get back to Checkers Library TV.
And now it's time for...
The joke of the week. What advice do you get from a librarian? Believe in yourself. Oh, what a knee slapper.
Well, hello! Today we are going to be making ourselves a Peppy penguin. You can find out about how to download this craft by contacting your local librarian. So I have already downloaded everything and I cut everything out. Now I do have a sheet here that says child may cut here. This is for a child that's maybe 4 or 5 years old that might have trouble cutting out all these pieces. So if there is adult helping or an older person, if they could cut all the pieces, that might be beneficial. If you're an older child, you could cut all the pieces out on your own. And if you're a younger child, just maybe you could cut this part out and someone older, an adult person, helps you with the rest of the pieces. All right, so it's pretty straightforward. This big white piece is going to be the penguin's belly. And it's got all the parts that a penguin needs. His flippers, and you can decide how you want to glue those on. He's got his webbed feet. Oh gosh. Flip them this way and that way. And, of course, his head and eyes and a beak. Alright, so I think I got everything arranged the way I want it. You might choose a different way. So you just add a little glue. Put one flipper on, and the other, I should say the webbed feet. These are the flippers. You can make them go up, you can make them go down, you can make one go up and one go down. I'm just going to make mine go right out to the side. And then the head. Whoop, put a little glue across the top. Add the head. Then we've got the eyes. Now, I just made the eyes white, so you are going to have to use a black crayon or a marker to add the little black in the middle of the eyes. Otherwise, they might look a little funny. So I just take the eye and stick it right in the glue. And I'll show you how I do my flipper. I just fold it down a little, and that's where I'm going to put the glue, right here. And then your beak can stick straight out that way, like that. Better get a black marker to make some googly eyes. All right, he's looking good. He's looking good. Okay, and this part is optional. I just decided to name the penguin Peppy Penguin because they always have so much energy and they look so happy and peppy. So I wrote the word Peppy, and then you can write the word penguin. And I put little lines there because I know there's children of all ages that watch. So let me try and do this upside down. P, E, N, G, U, I, N. Penguin. Peppy Penguin. And you can stick that wherever you want. You can stick it on a flipper or on the back. You can add your name. And then you have yourself your very own penguin. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I'll see you next time on Art Project.
Would you like the chance to have your very own keepsake of Checkers and Snoozer in your home? Now you can have your own Checkers and Snoozer books or your own Snoozer plush toy. Excellent for birthdays, holiday presents, special achievements, or just to have the fun of Checkers and Snoozer in your family's home. Order yours today at www.checkerstheinventor.com store.
Hello and welcome to Checkers Loves Books. This is the part of the show where I recommend books that I think you should be reading, and I have 3 books today about the Arctic, about penguins, all sorts of great stuff like that. And the first one is right here. It is called Tacky the Penguin by Helen Lester. This is one of those books about how it's okay to be different. It's about a penguin named Tacky who dresses different, he acts different, he says different things and does different things than any of the penguins that he's grouped with. But all the penguins think he's being strange. They don't know why he's acting the way he's acting. But at the end of the story, or as it gets towards the end, we find out that how he's different might be a positive thing, and it might actually help Tacky the penguin. Now, I really like the illustrations in this story. I like how the penguins look. I like how the other characters who come in look. We have bears and the wolves look. They come in later in the story, and they're dressed like people. They have clothes on. They've got winter hats and gloves, and it looks like they're people, even though we know that human beings dress like that, but animals don't dress in winter clothes like that. But it's fun seeing how that works, and I really love the positive message that this book has. So check out this book at the library if you can find it, or some book like it. But our next book is called In Arctic Waters by Laura Crawford. This book almost reminds me of that book about the woman who swallows the fly and then she's going to swallow this spider, and it keeps going up until she gets to the horse, where it starts with one animal. Actually, it starts with ice, and then it goes to a fish, and it keeps going to bigger and bigger animals. It then eventually gets to the human, and it goes all the way through the different animals you're going to find in the Arctic, and it talks about how it's bigger and bigger, and it shows them. So it actually gives you some good information about the animals that live in this area, and you get to see them moving underwater. I do like the illustrations. They're not too realistic looking. They look kind of cartoony, and I think this is another thing you'll enjoy when you're looking at this book. Now, another thing I really love about this book is when you get to the end of the book, there is information. It just keeps going. It's got more information about animals and people. Here's one about polar bears. Let me read this to you. It says, polar bears have thick, white, water-repellent fur to help them hide in their snowy surroundings. and stay warm in the water. And there's a whole bunch more like that about what their fur does, what their different abilities are, like how they have different eyesight, they have different ability to hear, they can swim underwater, different animals, different information. You're going to love that if you can find this book. But like I said, there are many different books that have something like that, some facts or information after you finish the story. So see if your library has a book like this or even this exact book. This is called In Arctic Waters. Now our last book is right here, and this is called North Pole, South Pole by Nancy Smiler Livingston. Now, our first book was all about a fictional story about a penguin named Tacky who wore funny clothes and had a different way of acting. The second story was sort of fictional, but it also had real information in it. And now this third book is all about different real information that you're going to want to check out. It is more of a nonfiction book. Now, it does have a lot of illustrations in it, so it's going to be fun to read, but they're more realistic looking because we're talking about the North Pole on top of the Earth and the South Pole on the bottom of the Earth. And it's all about the difference of, what's going on in the North Pole? What are the animals that live there? Are we going to find polar bears and penguins in the North Pole and the South Pole? What is going on in these places? This is the book for you. Here's one of the pages that I really like. South Pole. The South Pole is on land, surrounded by water. This land is the continent of Antarctica. Most of it is covered with ice that is 2 miles thick. Even mountains, volcanoes, and lakes are covered with ice. Ice at the South Pole never melts. And it's got animals like the chinstrap penguins and the black-browed albatross. So there's even different kinds of penguins and birds that live in Antarctica and the South Pole, but it also has information about the North Pole. There's maps in this book, so many different things that you can learn about. So you're going to want to check out a book like this. So if you ask your library, do they have this book, North Pole, South Pole? Do they have other books about animals and what's going on in these different places? This is something that I really like looking through because there are so many things that I didn't even know about. What kinds of penguins live there? Are there penguins in the South Pole? Are they just in the North Pole? Or is it just the other way around? All those questions I've had are answered by this book, but it also got me interested to check out other books about polar bears and penguins. Now I want to learn more about these animals and what they do. So this is one of those things that you start reading one book and you just want to read more and more and more. And it's a great time to do that as we're surrounded by snow. We're in January. We're thinking about this stuff. Great time to check out these books at the library. So one more time, we have Tacky the Penguin, In Arctic Waters, and North Pole, South Pole. 3 great books to check out for different age levels. Some books you can read by yourself, and some you might want your parents to help you check out together. So you're going to love these books. Have a great time reading these and other awesome books about snow, North Pole, South Pole, all those great things. We'll be back with more books next time on Checkers Loves Books. Checkers Library TV is made possible by libraries across America. Support your local library today. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Wow, we had a great time today talking about animals like penguins and polar bears, doing that awesome craft with you guys, reading that story. So many great things went on, and it's good to be back here with you, Snoozer. Snoozer wasn't out with me earlier.
Yee! What a fun time!
Well, it was great to have Snoozer back for the joke of the week and having Dr. Dan in teaching us more about different healthy things going on. I loved talking about books to recommend for you guys about the North Pole, the South Pole, the Tacky, the Penguin, and the book about In Arctic Waters. All great books to check out. Also loved sharing more toys with you on Toys in Time. That was another interesting, great journey for us. We really enjoyed that as well. And all the great things we did today. We cannot wait to be back with you guys for our next show. We have a full show coming out in February, so make sure you join us for that. We also are going to have our short episodes every single week, so join us every week for more Checkers Library TV. And don't forget about this. We also still have our holiday contest where you are drawing a picture of the Christmas scene with Checkers and Snoozer. You're going to draw that and send it in, and we are going to pick a winner very soon. So make sure you get all those in. We're going to be picking the winner very, very soon on that, and you're going to find out who wins the Snoozer stuffed animal. That's awesome. Coming up very soon. So don't forget about that. A lot of great stuff coming to you guys, and we are super excited about it. But for now, we'll check out, and we'll check back with you later right here on Checkers Library TV.